What's up, guys? My name is Adrienne. Welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a fun chatty video where I'm going to be ranking one of, if not my all-time favorite dark romance series in order from least to favorite based on the couples. Let's put some disclaimers out there. This is a dark romance series, so if you pick it up, please check your trigger warnings. Also, this is a super popular series. I read this series. I have not given anything under 4 stars. If your couple or if your favorite book in the series ends up at the bottom, just know someone has to be number 6 and someone has to be number 1. It is no shade. It is no tea. I love every single couple in this series. I love every single book, but I do have my favorites. Okay. We got that out of the way. We understand each other. Again, this is one of, if not my all-time favorite dark romance series. So obviously, I love all the books, and I'm not talking shit about any one of the books. Not really. Okay? All right. So the series that I'm talking about is the Legacy of God series by Rina. I'm going to be showing the Pretty Gal Crate special editions. Those are the books that I'll be holding up. I finally got mine. It seems like it took 40 days and 40 nights. I swear I had friends who we ordered within 2 minutes of each other. They got their books like 30 days before me. But not complaining, they're finally in my presence, and I just thought this would be a fun video. So without further ado, let's get started. The book coming in 6th place is kind of controversial because I know people love this book. One of my friends, Tabitha, she loves this book, and every time we get into a debate and I'm like, yeah, it's my least favorite, and they're also my least favorite couple, but I love them. I love Little Purple. Creighton, The book I'm talking about for number 6 for me is God of Pain. Why did this come in 6 for me? It doesn't stand up to the rest of them, in my humble opinion. Also, Annika is Little Miss Sunshine. She wants everyone to be her friend. Creighton literally grunts at her. Creighton will just stare at her as she talks. Yes, they fall in love. It's a good book. They're just not my favorite. I don't necessarily know if 10 years down the road I see them together. I know, hot take. But this is God of Pain. I gave this 4 stars. But it is number 6 on my list. So number 5. She is one of my favorite FMCs in this whole entire series, but her love interest, I hated him for most of this series, and by saying that, you should know, if you've read the series, exactly who I'm talking about, and that is God of Ruin, Mia and Landon. What I will say is I hated Landon for the first 3 books in the series. Landon is the uber smart, psycho, shitster. If there was a problem, Landon caused it. But there are scenes from this book that still live rent-free in my mind. There are things that Landon did in this book for Mia that still live rent-free in my mind. Landon's a psycho. Straight up psycho, but this is a enemies to lovers. Mia gives Landon a run for his money, and that is what I love. And understand feelings. But with Mia, she becomes his muse, and he takes that title and that job very seriously when it comes to Mia. Mia does not speak. It's not that she can't speak, but something happened and she has been mute ever since, and this man learned sign language for her. Yes, so he can communicate with his muse. Landon has a soft spot in my heart, even though, again, hated him for the first 3 books in this series. But this is number 5. This was a tough one because, like I said, I love this whole entire series. So trying to sit down and actually rank this, and depending on the day, some of these will change. God of Pain will always be number 6, unfortunately. Landon has the potential to move up depending on the day of the week when I'm doing this. So number 4, very unpopular opinion. This is most people's least favorite in the series, but it's number 4 for me. And that is God of War. This is the last book in the Legacy of God series. This is Eli and Ava, and most people did not like this book. It's one of my favorite tropes. I'm going to put spoiler across the screen, but it has the amnesia trope. This is forced marriage, enemies to lovers, kind of a second chance. I love Eli. I absolutely loved Eli. Now, I do understand why a lot of people think that Ava is annoying. I get it. I understand. but together, I don't know, they just worked for me. And I also like that this book takes place years after they're all graduated from college, so it gave me more of the adult feel, mainly coming from Eli, instead of the whole college setting. Do you see this cover? These special editions, they absolutely hit it out of the ballpark. Okay, top 3. I feel really strong about these. So now we're down to the top 3. And I know this book that I'm about to name, that's my number 3, is most people's favorite. A lot of people who didn't even read Rina Kent read this book and then they became a fan, or then they went on to read more of her backlist or even start this series. So the book that I am talking about is God of Fury. This is an MM romance. This is between Brandon and Nico. There is a scene in this book that I don't cry in books. I'm not a crier. I was in the Hobby Lobby parking lot, minding my business, listening to the audiobook, and something happened and I was bawling. Like, literally, I had to sit and compose myself before I could go and continue with my day. I absolutely love these two. Nico is an acquired taste. That's all I will say. This man will not give up. This man counted Brandon's eyelashes while he was sleeping. Eyelashes. He's like, yeah, you have 34 eyelashes on your left eye. Sir, what? You are looking for a heartfelt MM romance. Please check your trigger warnings though, because like I said, I am not a crier and this made me cry. You want to give them a hug. You want to give one of them a bigger hug. And the way that Nico just, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give anything away. Just if you want a really good emotional MM, hilarious, I will burn the world down for you, I will fix whatever is wrong with you if you just love me romance, God of Fury. We're down to the top 2. I'm very excited. These are my 2 favorite in the series. Now the other ones, the numbers could possibly change. My 1 and 2 never changes. My number 2 is God of Malice. This is what started it all. Even though this is the first book in the Legacy of God series, but this is not the first book that I read, because what is a reading order? What can I say about Killian that hasn't already been said? True psychopath. Their meet cute, it is not a meet cute. There is nothing cute about how these two people meet, but if you've read the book, you know that will tell you all you need to know about Killian. Killian, what are feelings? What are emotions? All he knows is that Glendon is his. Glendon didn't even want to be his. Glendon was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. She met a psychopath. He fell in love with her and was like, you're gonna love me. And I don't even know if I can say you're gonna love me, you're mine. And he meant that with his whole heart, body, and soul. I absolutely love these two, and this cover is stunning. This is the true definition of F around and find out. I saw you, I wanted you, end of story. This is Killian and Glendon. So my number 1, if you've read this, then you know that there is one missing. My number 1 has never wavered. This was the first book that I read by Rina Kent. I was strolling TikTok one day. For good stalker romance, read this. I was like, okay, it's on audio. Let's try it. I had never heard of Rina Kent, and then the rest is history. The book that I'm talking about is God of Wrath. This features Jeremy and Cecily. This is I wouldn't say enemies to lovers, but they're not friends. They know who each other's are. Cecily is Annika's roommate slash bestie. Annika is from God of Pain. Annika and Jeremy are brothers and sisters. Jeremy is stalking Cecily. Cecily at the time has a crush on Landon, and Landon uses that crush to his benefit. Because this was my first book by Rina Kent, and this was the first book that I read in the series, if you've read this, you will understand why I hated Landon so. But again, this book, scenes that live rent-free in my mind. I can't say them because A, I don't think they're safe for the internet, and B, I don't want to give anything away. But if you want a stalker romance with quite a few twists and turns, I will burn the world down. I'm a bit of a psychopath. My father is Adrian Volkov, and if you know that name, then you know his father is the MMC in the Deception trilogy. Need I say more? Read this book. This will always be my favorite book in the God of Legacy series. It is not my favorite Rina Kent book, but this book also will always hold a special place because this is what started my love for Rina Kent, dark romance, all of the things. Okay, so I have been yapping for a really long time. These are just my opinions. Let's talk about it in the comments. I know that my order is not most people's order, but that's what makes reading and these kind of like videos so much fun. So in the comments, if you've read this series, let me know what your favorite book is, of course, your favorite couple. And if you've made it to the end of this video and you want to let me know, leave me an orange heart for God of Wrath. And I will catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.